Stop scrolling for 1 second because what I'm about to show you is going to make you angry, and I mean genuinely angry, if you've been paying attention to what's happening in the garage. They said he was too good, too fast, too clean on a road course. And now, quietly, without a press release, without a single reporter connecting the dots, NASCAR looks like it's actually doing something about it. Stick around because by the time this video ends, you will not see the sport the same way again. If you're an SVG fan and you're watching this from Auckland, from Sydney, from the Gold Coast, or from anywhere south of the equator, you already know the feeling in your chest. You've watched a bloke from New Zealand roll into the most American motorsport on the planet and school the entire field on every single road course they put in front of him. 4 road wins in his rookie cup season. A record nobody in modern NASCAR history has ever touched, let alone matched. And here's the thing that's been eating at me for weeks now. NASCAR knows it too. Because quietly, and I mean quietly, without a press conference, without a big shiny announcement rolled out on a Tuesday morning, the rule book has been shifting underneath everyone's feet. And when you line those changes up side by side, there's one name that keeps getting hit the hardest: Shane van Gisbergen. Now the official line is always the same 2 words: safety or better racing. That's what they'll tell you every single time a rule changes. But there's a hidden thread running through all of this that nobody in the American media is talking about yet. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So stick with me because we are going deep today, deeper than any other channel is willing to go, and by the end you're going to understand exactly how the system is being quietly re-engineered to slow the Kiwi down. Let's crack on. First, you need to understand why SVG is so untouchable on a road course, because it's not luck, and it's not just raw talent. It's technique, and it's technique that the American driver pool genuinely doesn't have baked into its DNA. Here's the technical truth most commentators skip right over. The next gen car, the Gen 7, runs a 5-speed sequential gearbox, and critically, it's clutchless. You can bang up and down through the gears like you're on a superbike, no clutch pedal needed, effortlessly, instantly. On an oval, that's fine. Left turn, hold the throttle flat, repeat for 500 miles. But on a road course, that sequential box changes everything about how a driver has to attack a corner. This is where SVG's supercar's background becomes an absolute weapon, and I don't think people outside of Australia and New Zealand fully appreciate just how brutal that training ground actually is. Shane spent his entire career in Australian supercars, heavy, brutal, H-pattern and dogbox machinery, where clutch control, throttle blipping on the downshift, and driveline shock management weren't bonus skills, they were survival skills. Get it wrong once at Bathurst and you're picking gearbox parts out of the gravel trap. He learned to load and unload the drivetrain with millimeter precision. He learned trail braking, carrying the brake deep into the corner while rotating the car on the throttle, as second nature, not as something he had to think about. So when he jumps into a cup car, he's not thinking about the mechanics of shifting at all. Zero mental bandwidth spent on it. His brain is completely free to work the brake, the rotation, and the tire all at once in real time. And that's the secret nobody wants to say out loud. It's tire management. Denny Hamlin himself said SVG's edge in tire management on the demanding road courses might be the biggest advantage in the entire field. Kyle Larson, a road course ace in his own right, flat out said Shane is way better than the rest of them on the road courses. When your own competitors are saying that on the record, you know something real is going on. Now, here's where it gets interesting, so pay close attention. What is NASCAR actually changing quietly in the background? Watch the language they use. They've already pulled the stage brake cautions on road courses. Those artificial yellow flags that used to bunch the entire field back up right when a dominant driver had built a gap. Why does that matter so much? Because a caution was the only mechanism that could erase SVG's lead once he built one. Take away the reset, and once he's gone, and there's nothing left in the rulebook to bring the field back to him. But here's the catch, and this is the part that should really worry you. NASCAR is now openly floating putting new competition controls back into road course events. Elton Sawyer has confirmed that road course format changes are on the table for discussion. And every single one of those levers, where they land, how much they cost a leading driver, how they're timed in a race, they all point in one direction. It's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Before we go deeper, and trust me, it gets a lot deeper from here, I need to say something directly to you. If you're tired of the recycled NASCAR news that ignores the technical truth and just repeats the press release word for word, you need to be part of this community. We are the only ones diving this deep into the Kiwi Masterclass, breaking down the gearbox, the tire data, the point system, all of it. Join the Trackline crew by hitting subscribe so you don't miss what's happening behind closed doors, because what I'm about to show you next is the part they really don't want traveling around Australia and New Zealand. This is the change that quietly does more damage to SVG than any pedal box tweak or gearbox rule ever could. Let's get into it. Here's the uncomfortable reality for NASCAR, and a lot of you already said it in the comments on the last video. Americans can't drive a manual. Now I know that ruffled some feathers last time, but let's actually look at the data instead of the emotion for a second. The Gen 7 car deliberately made shifting easier, clutchless, sequential, about as idiot-proof as you can engineer a gearbox to be. That wasn't an accident. That was a choice. NASCAR built a platform around drivers who came up through ovals and never had to master heel and toe, never had to feather a clutch mid-corner, never had to manage driveline shock on a downhill braking zone at speed. Shane van Gisbergen did all of that before he could legally have a beer. That's the old-school driver, the bloke who feels the car through his feet and his hands rather than a screen full of data. Compare that to the modern oval specialist, enormously talented, phenomenal at holding the throttle flat and managing traffic at 190 miles an hour, but on a proper road course, doing something Shane isn't even consciously thinking about anymore. He's already a step ahead before the green flag even drops. And the numbers back the comments section up completely. SVG turned road courses into a near monopoly, 5 wins out of 6 on the schedule in one stretch. Sonoma, Chicago, Mexico City, Watkins Glen. That is not a streak, that's a mismatch. Hamlin called him the most dominant driver-car combination on road courses in NASCAR history and said flat out nobody's beating him in this car for a long, long time. So here's the real mystery that hangs over everything we've talked about so far, the nuclear option. What does the sport actually do if the small rule tweaks don't stop him? Because you can adjust cautions, you can fiddle with formats around the edges, but if the bloke is genuinely just better than everyone else on that surface, how far is NASCAR actually willing to go to level the field? That's where this gets serious. Let's follow the money for a moment, because that's really what all of this comes down to in the end. NASCAR is a business built on big teams, big sponsors, and big American stars. Now picture the boardroom conversation. You've got a driver in a Trackhouse Chevrolet, not one of the Mega Cup super teams, turning up a handful of times a year and absolutely embarrassing the entire grid on the road courses. Fans love every second of it. But the powerful teams, the ones with the political weight in the garage, getting beaten by a road course specialist week after week is not exactly the story they're trying to sell to sponsors. And here's the change that quietly does the most damage of all. NASCAR scrapped the win-in playoff format. Under the old rules, 4 road wins would have locked SVG straight into the playoffs. No argument, no discussion. Under the new points-only system, winning doesn't guarantee anything anymore. It's all total points now, race in and race out. And guess what happens? A road course specialist who dominates a handful of races but is still improving on the ovals gets squeezed right out of the picture. In fact, analysts have already shown SVG sitting right on the cut line, fighting for a provisional spot even with wins already on the board. Read that back one more time. A bloke wins 4 races in a single season and might still miss the playoffs entirely. If you sat down and designed a rule specifically to neutralize a driver whose entire strength is winning specific races rather than grinding out points on ovals week after week, you would design exactly this system. Now, is it a deliberate hit, or is it just a convenient outcome for the people it happens to benefit? That's the real question. But convenient for whom, exactly? That's what should keep you thinking long after this video ends. And what does all of this actually mean for the future of the sport? If the message being sent to every young gun watching from overseas is come here, dominate the field, and we'll quietly change the maths so it doesn't count for as much, that's a genuinely dangerous road for a sport that says it desperately wants to go global. You can't ask international talent to cross an ocean and then move the goalposts the moment they succeed. So here's where I hand it over to you, the Trackline crew, because your voice on this actually matters more than mine does. We've got a Kiwi delivering an absolute masterclass every single time the cars turn right, and a rulebook that keeps quietly bending in the one direction that hurts him most. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's just competition doing what competition does. Or maybe it's exactly what it looks like on paper. But I reckon it doesn't matter what they throw at him. Whether it's the format, the cautions, or whatever's coming next season, talent finds a way through. Shane has proven that his entire career, on every continent he's raced on. So I want to know exactly where you stand, and I want this comment section absolutely lit up on this one. If you think SVG wins regardless of whatever they throw at him, drop the word talent below. If you think NASCAR has officially gone too far this time, drop the word stop below. Let's get this debate roaring properly. And before you go, a genuine thank you to every single one of you watching, whether this is your first Trackline video or your 50th. This channel exists because you keep showing up, keep commenting, and keep pushing this conversation further than anyone else in the mainstream is willing to. So thank you truly for being here. Keep the faith, keep supporting the Kiwi, and I will see you in the next one. Trackline out.